So this is going to be a special episode for a lot of reasons, because we're not going to do bookalytics. We're not going to do any banter because we don't have time. And we have a special guest.
Hi, y'all.
Multiple special guests.
Well, yeah, multiple special guests. Well, Sam's been here a lot of times at this point. He's a regular.
Well, this is the first time you can't say two sisters and a brother. You have to say two siblings and a husband.
Oh, you're right. Well, it's been you and Candy before. So there's been only one sister before. But yeah.
It's a new dynamic to keep the podcast fresh. Hello, listeners. My name is Joshua Baker. I am...
Wait, have we started?
Yeah, we're recording.
We started. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The lucky individual that gets to be Chrissy's husband joining for this podcast. Typically, I read medical textbooks and boring literature like that. So I'm really excited to be able to talk about something that is more entertaining and more enjoyable. So
that's fun.
Yeah, Josh does read his textbooks for fun. This is better. But yeah, our viewership has gone down slightly from our big hit of The Housemaid. And so Josh is here to liven it up. Bring in more audience members. Okay, well, yeah, without further ado, welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where normally two sisters, but now a sister, a brother, and a husband. You can figure out who's connected to who. We're all talking about books. I'm Chrissy.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Josh.
That's the husband. Sam's the brother. I'm the sister. And today we're reading The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by cLewis, which this doesn't come right after The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
No, it's two after.
It's two after. Okay. Yeah. Well, today it's the one that's going to come right after. It's one of our favorites from the series. Oh, we could do our rankings.
Oh, yeah. Let's do our rankings.
All right, sure. Let's do our rankings. So we've done The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe on the podcast before. We haven't done any others, but we're just going to rank them anyways. Sam is probably more familiar with all these books. He's read them most recently, probably. So he'll start.
Okay. Why don't we go start it at the bottom at 7 and work our way to the top?
Okay, go for it.
Okay, my number 7 is The Magician's Nephew.
Really? That's the worst?
Yeah. I didn't say it's the worst. It's the one that's number 7 for me. I like the whole series. If I'm going to put one at the bottom, I'm putting that one.
Tied for the last. I think that means it's the worst for you.
It is a weird one, I will say. Like, the introduction is strange,
I like it. I like the scene of Aslan creating the world so much that it's pretty great.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
I will say, if you are a fan of, what was that book that y'all read? The Housemaid.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a fan of The Housemaid, the first half of Magician's Nephew is just for you. And then just stop there. The rest of it you won't enjoy, but just stop there.
Oh, yeah, I guess they do kind of get locked into the attic. Good connection.
All right, Sam, carry on.
Oh, no. Aren't you going to rank yours?
We do okay, so what's our number 7?
Yeah.
I haven't read a lot of these recently, so I really don't remember. When I was younger, I think The Voyage of the Dawn Treader was probably my number 7. And when I was rereading it, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. Because there's just so many characters and so many places that I couldn't really keep it straight. It's not my number 7 now, though. I don't know. I really don't remember them.
You just have to pick one.
The Horse and His Boy.
The Horse and His Boy. Okay. All right. What about you, Josh?
I've only read 3 of these, so I don't know if this is...
Just go off titles.
So, off titles.
Yeah, just based off the titles.
Well, okay, off titles, the silver chair, just because that's just least interesting. Silver chair.
They went to an antique store.
Yeah.
It was a really nice chair.
That's awesome. Okay, number 6 for me. I'm gonna go Horse and His Boy. I think it's fallen down my rankings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about you, Chrissy?
I don't know. Silver chair.
Okay.
Similar reasons.
And then I'd put Last Battle, just because it's the last one. It's a bummer.
It's the last one.
Doesn't sound
Yeah.
exciting.
No, it's just it's like one of those things that you finish a TV series. I guess it's similar for a book series. You finish and you just left this
Yeah.
empty void. I haven't
Yeah.
read it, but I just said something as number 6 because that's what
There
made
you go.
so.
Sounds reasonable.
All right, number 5 for me is going to be, let's go with The Last Battle.
Okay. Well, that was going to be my number 5 as well. I really don't remember it, but now it's all of our lowest ones. So I'm curious what it's about.
What about for you, Josh?
Number 5, but the last one I haven't read, so Prince Caspian, just because I have no clue. But from the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, he sounds like an interesting book. So I think that would be a worthwhile read.
Okay. All right, so we are now at 4. And this is where it gets tough for me because I feel like they're all really good, like at this point. So we have the Pevensey Children trilogy, which would be the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And then then the next one after that is the Silver Chair, which has Eustace in it. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I really like Silver Chair, and it's hard for me. This one's really hard. I'm gonna say Prince Caspian.
Oh, hot take.
Yeah,
No, actually,
it could have gone higher. Could have gone higher.
All right. Well, I'm going to do similar to Josh. The last one that I haven't read recently is also Prince Caspian. So that's that one. I'll have more insight on the next round.
Okay, good. What about for you, Josh?
I would probably say The Horse and His Boy.
Okay.
I've read that one.
Well, we've started it. Have you read it?
We've read part of it.
Yeah, we read part of it.
I have half an opinion. Right now, the main character is a horse and a young child. They need some more characters in there.
That's right. You must be early on in the book.
We've met the other horse and the girl.
Oh, okay.
But
that's pretty much the only characters.
Oh, well, there you go.
I mean, those are the main characters for the whole book.
So if you want a book with intense character development, The Horse and His Boy.
There you go. Okay, so we're at number 3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Silver Chair.
Oh, wow. Well, that was one of our lowest ones based off the title. So I guess it's actually pretty good.
I like Silver Chair. Silver Chair is good.
All right. Okay, mine would be The Magician's Nephew.
Why would it be that one?
Well, now I'm just down to 3 that I've read recently. And out of the 3, that one's the lowest. Yeah, there's some parts that are slower. Maybe also the characters I'm not as engaged with. And also, yeah, there are some weird things with the uncle.
Yeah, I'd agree. Magician Nephew is number 3 for me. It's a little strange.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a strange one. And number 2. So we just read Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and I read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe last year. So those are the last 2 for me. So the question is 1 or 2. And I don't know. I think I like Voyage of the Dawn Treader better, but Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is so classic. I feel like I have to go Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe at number 1, and Voyage of the Dawn Treader 2. But you could kind of convince me either way.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. Where I think after reading Dawn Treader again as an adult, I'm like, wow, there's so many good themes and pictures here. I love that. But I just can't get over how central the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is.
It's just when you think of Narnia, that's what you think of.
That's what you think of. So, and I guess we reread the Dawn Treader last night and this morning, and so I was kind of rushing through it. I probably would have enjoyed it even more if I had taken my time. And so that might also be kind of peppering my view of it. But yeah, I think I'd put Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe number 1, Dawn Treader number 2.
And I just have to agree, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is just a classic. Also, I feel like the role that Aslan plays in Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is just more natural than it is in the Voyage of Dawn Treader. It's a little bit, we'll probably talk about it later. But, both are good stories. I mean, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe's classic. If you're a fan of boats and adventure and whatnot too, the Voyage of the Dawn Treader is pretty good too. So they're close, but I'd probably give the classic number one.
There you go, man. We got our list.
Yeah, pretty unanimous. Okay, well, maybe we'll just keep doing Chronicles of Narnia whenever we need just a one-off episode, and we'll just keep going down our list. So we did number 1. This is number 2. We'll do a fight to figure out which one's number 3.
How about viewers? You let us know.
Josh is head of our marketing department, getting the audience engagement. You want to hear side story, but you want to hear a silly feature of Spotify, speaking of audience engagement?
Yes.
There's this Q&A function, which the automatic question that appears on everyone's podcast is, what do you think of this episode? And then people can respond to it. But you would think, based off the name, that means there's a back and forth going on where you could then respond to the listener who responded. But you can't. You can only Q, they A, and then it ends there. And that was just disappointing because we got our first answer the other day and we said, how do we respond to this person? Because he asked us a question. He misread the Q&A part. You did the Q and now we can't A.
No, you do the A on the next podcast.
Yeah, which I guess would be this one.
So why don't you give him an answer?
Oh, actually, I remember the question. The question was, he finished The Housemaid. Congratulations. It's a great series. And he asked, you guys gave this one 3.5 stars. What's a 5-star book? And so one of our 5-star books that we've done, Paper Menagerie, is pretty high up there. That was a unanimous favorite.
Yeah. Paper Menagerie was what's up.
That was really good. But Chronicles of Narnia, also very good. Candy, I think, actually did write out a response and then responded to him from her account, also on the Q&A.
Oh,
so I think he got a full response. But from my memory, Paper Menagerie is our number 5 or 5-star.
Cool.
One.
Sweet.
All right. Cool. Well, are we ready to get?
Are we going to judge a book by its cover?
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. See, Sam is such a regular on this show. Is this the same cover you have? We'll post it.
No, that is not the cover. I think I have the classic cover.
We got this from a yard sale for $1.
could not be better.
Well, one of our Magician's Nephew copies also from a yard sale for $1, and it was like this 4th grader's project or something. So she highlighted it in all these different colors. It is a little distracting, but it's okay.
Okay, now I'm looking up. Okay, so I have this one.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay, so we keep saying this one, and the people who are listening have no idea what we're saying.
This is why Sam's our CEO. Okay, so mine and Josh's cover shows a boat in a warm-toned background. Very simple.
It's in the scene at the end of the book.
Yeah,
they're going through the lilies.
Yeah, you're right. If you look closely, there's all this white stuff, and it's all the lilies, all very warm. And then,
So mine is one of the more classic illustrations. I forget the name of the person who did all the illustrations inside the book, but I think it's just a full color of one of their illustrations of them landing on the island. And you've got the 2 Pevensey kids, you've got Reepicheep, you've got Caspian, and you've got Eustace. And then you've got the dragon, is it the stern of the Dawn Treader? The front of it. In the background. So that's there you go. All right, so what's next, Chrissy?
Wait, we haven't judged it. We just described them.
Oh, we didn't judge it. Oh, we just described it.
Okay, so based off the cover, would you read this book?
Yeah, because the cover on it has the words C.S. Lewis.
Oh my gosh.
So, because of that, I would read it. Based on the graphic of what I'm looking at, no, it's a weird looking cover for me.
The boat one or
no, mine. I'm looking at mine.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I'm sure those illustrations are great, but yeah, it doesn't make me want to pick up the book, the one with all the kids on it.
No, your cover, I'm more open to.
Yeah, I'd be more intrigued. I I was gonna say it doesn't super like grab me in, but also,
No.
especially when I was younger, I think this book in general didn't grab me in. It just feels kind of slower in general. So maybe it's actually a great setup for what the book is.
Well,
You
book
think this book is slower than the other ones?
I feel like it is. Yeah.
Maybe because I
'Cause-
listened to it at 3 times speed this
Oh,
morning. I didn't feel like it was that slow.
it was jam packed. Well, this one doesn't feel to have like it kind of has one overarching plot of like they're trying to get to the east, but it's not
Yeah.
like we got to defeat this villain or something. Whereas I feel like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it's like, oh, they need to defeat the White Witch. To where like just on a basic level, it seems like there's kind of more action going on.
Oh. See, this is interesting as we get into it because I find it really fast paced because like each chapter is its own short story as they're going through um their voyage, right? Like there's always a new adventure happening. And some adventures are a couple chapters long, but some adventures are just a single chapter long. And so
Yeah. Maybe it's all the descriptions. Maybe that's what made it
maybe
feel slower for me. Okay,
I
Josh
guess
has to judge.
I want to answer the if you like it feels slower or longer question.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
good question.
Answer that one.
And I don't know, my whole thought process is there's so many little adventures in here that like my like
yeah.
imagination space where I'm trying to like envision the book is like filled up, you know. So that's why I feel like this book is longer versus like Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe. It's all in the same world, you know. It's like once like they do the world building, it's like all within there. So maybe it just feels shorter because of that,
That's a good point.
you know. And then
I
also I
think
kind of read it all back to back to back. So there was no time to like
yeah.
digest. It
Yeah.
was like, all right, new one, new one, new one. And so kind of
I
forgot.
think Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe has a more typical story arc, right? Like it's got that regular kind of here are the kids, and then here's the conflict, and here's the rising action, and the climax, and the conclusion.
Yeah.
Whereas this book, I don't feel like there's like a regular story arc. It's much more in the vein of other Voyage classics, especially like Homer's Odyssey, right?
Mhm.
Where you just have like a series of different incidents as you are moving in a direction of trying to get from point A ultimately to point B, which is home. And so I think it's more in that kind of style, which is less classic story arc.
Yeah, that's what we're used to. So I did do a little bit of research here, and I found out that the Voyage of the Dawn Treader is written in the style of an Irish journey story. I'm forgetting what the word is, and I can't find it. Like in Iman or something like that. Yeah, maybe we can Google it. But anyways, it's like a pilgrimage story, which makes a lot of sense. And so one of the comparisons is the Voyage of Saint Brendan, I think, or something. I don't know. I read that once, and I think there are a lot of similarities, but I really couldn't tell you it now. But I think this is like a classic Irish style, where it's like they just kind of go to all these places and they're always journeying towards, yeah, the
Right.
end, like you're
Yeah.
saying. Oh, it's an Imram, an old Irish tale concerning a hero's sea journey to the other world. And typically they go to the west because the Irish story is a journey. It's only like the arc like towards their death. But C.S. Lewis has them going towards the east, going towards like rebirth and new beginnings. Pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Do you think he thought about that, or was that just a convenient factor that just kind of?
It's interesting how the East, and I'm just thinking about Lewis versus Tolkien, and because for Tolkien the West is what is good and the East is what is evil.
Oh,
and here in Narnia, the East is what is good because that is where Aslan is.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they, well, like, I was gonna ask, like, are they drawing off of like tradition there of like in fantasy the West is typically bad, or is it just like I just chose this one? Because it
I
seems
don't
like,
know.
yeah, because it seems like from a religious perspective, you'd think the East would be good because isn't that like in Revelation, like Jesus is coming from the East? Isn't that something?
I don't know.
Rising in the East. I don't know.
I don't know.
Pastor Sam, this is your time to shine.
This is I don't know. I think that sounds right, but it could also be the West. I don't know.
Oh, graveyards are always facing the east. I think that's what I was thinking. Aren't they? I don't know. I'm making all this up. We don't have facts at the Cdelicious.
I need ChatGPT to answer for me right now.
That'll be our next episode.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, do you want to share some background on your Planets of Narnia about the sun?
Yeah, so one of the books I read, and we talked a lot about this when we did the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe episode, but it was just a really fascinating book where the author makes the case that the thematic tie between the 7 Narnia books is the medieval understanding of the planets. And so you have, we wouldn't think of it quite like this because this Sol or Arbol, the sun, is considered one of the 7 planets. So the 7 planets are the moon, the sun, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Saturn, I think is what it is. And those have corresponding gods in both like the Greek and the Roman pantheon, right? So Jupiter is Zeus, right? Or Jove is another name. And so the author like makes his argument for one, here's why C.S. Lewis was really into the medieval understanding of the planets. And he goes into letters and different things like that. And then he makes his case in each book for the corresponding planet. Now, whether or not you buy his overall theory of the planets, I think the Voyage of the Dawn Treader is the most on the nose one as it relates to the sun, given that it's in the very title of the book and how central the sun is. But you see this theme play out, specifically if you understand the role that the sun had in the medieval mind as both bringing knowledge or philosophy, but also generosity and the gold as the color and metal. So I think he makes a compelling argument for why this is the case. But if you just use that kind of thing just for this book and you kind of ignore the rest of the theory, you can see a lot of generosity in this book. You can see a lot of searching for knowledge, the pursuit of wisdom. There's a huge element of light and dark in this book, and gold is a major theme throughout. So
yeah, I'm not super familiar with the theory. Sam has just mentioned it a few times, but as I was reading this book, and then as I was listening to other podcasts who have talked about this book in preparation for this podcast, they brought up the theory of the sun too. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And it is, I think it adds a lot of meaning reading this book through that lens and seeing like, okay, the sun makes light things that are dark. And so we see a lot of like conversion in that sense. And all the things that you were saying too, of like searching for light, searching for truth. So
cool.
Yeah, cool. Okay. I think maybe we can do it in sections, like maybe the first 3 chapters or something, brief summary, and then we share things that we want to talk about. Or cool. Are your notes by chapter, Sam, or do you just have like kind of general ideas?
I just have stuff in my head.
Excellent. Great. Okay, well, yeah, let's just do that, and that'll be great. So first 2 chapters, I guess, would make most sense. We get introduced to the kids. So we have Lucy and Edmund, and now we meet their cousin Eustace. And these first 2 chapters are just so funny. I laughed so much.
I was laughing out loud as well.
It's hilarious. So we meet Eustace Claret Scrubb, who's so terrible he almost deserves his name.
Oh my gosh, I laughed out loud at that line. I was like, what a banger.
It's so good. I feel like you get so much of C.S. Lewis's character through this book.
Yes.
It's hilarious. Okay, well, let me finish my summary first, then we'll discuss. We meet them. Eustace is a snotty kid who doesn't like his cousins. It's kind of mean to everybody. They end up jumping into this picture frame that's in his wall, and it leads them to Narnia, and they are in the middle of the sea, conveniently right next to Prince Caspian and his giant ship, the Dawn Treader. Prince Caspian brings them up. And now all of a sudden they're on this adventure. The Pevensey children, super excited. Eustace, Clarence, Scrub, very upset, as always.
Eustace is representative of something that Lewis hates, which is the modern school system at the time. And he's written extensively about this and like the abolition of man. This was also like a big part of his takedown in That Hideous Strength, the third book of the Space Trilogy. And you see him again come out, and especially Eustace up until his conversion, about midway through the story, like Lewis is just cracking on him, and kind of all the other things that he's standing in for.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that was so funny of seeing. I feel like just everything C.S. Lewis doesn't like, he's like, that's what Eustace does too. Even down to like, he's vegetarian and a pacifist. He read all the wrong books.
That's right.
Do you think some of those characteristics are just C.S. Lewis being like, I don't like this, Eustace is going to be that thing? Or is it also, I know some of it's probably critique of the school system. So it's like, are all the characteristics kind of a critique of something? What do you guys think?
I think some of it's just for fun,
That's what I like.
Just like trying to come up with like the most obscene, like crazy, description for someone that you would dislike, and it's Shrub, Eustace Shrub. But
he is the kid.
I think the it's also a kid's book, right? So, he's doing it in a really he's giving you a strong flavor of who this kid is. Like, when do we meet Eustace? When he comes in through the door because he was listening at the door to their conversation. Right? Like, you just immediately get this kid is not a fun person.
Yeah.
This is also, so like, this is the third book in the series as it was published. And this is the first time you don't have Peter and Susan.
Yeah. Do they come back in like the last battle or something, right?
Yeah, the last battle is a big reunification of everybody. But yeah, this is, you don't see Peter or Susan in this book the first time they're not in a Narnia book.
Yeah. Do you think that's significant for any reason?
I don't think it's significant. I just kind of pointing out the progression that,
I appreciated with this book where I think you kind of could just read it standalone, because C.S. Lewis has enough like explanation to where he's like, oh, remember Edmund and Lucy? They did this and this in Narnia, and like Aslan, as you'll remember, who did this. And I thought that was so helpful and so wise for a kid's book too, to where even if a kid did read the other books, probably forgot.
You could definitely read this book alone. I think that's probably true of all the Narnia books.
Probably.
You can read them all without needing to read the previous ones. In part, I think because there's so much time set between them. What's interesting is the books that span the closest in time period is probably the Caspian. I don't know if you want to call it a trilogy, but the Prince Caspian, the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and then the Silver Chair, which comes after it, which takes place at Caspian's death.
What?
Oh, spoiler alert. Oops.
I'm sorry for spoiling this 70-year-old book.
I was working my way through them. I forgot.
He is not a major character. He's only in the very beginning, as he is more or less on his deathbed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's at the end of his life.
Man, well, that's sad.
Yeah.
Reached the West. Okay. Well, okay, let's see. Any other things stick out from the first few chapters? We've started a new game, Sam. It's in our other book that we're reading. It's written by an author, TJ Clune, and he uses all these words that we don't know what they mean. And so he started a game called Get a Clune, where we have the word, and we guess what it means. So
okay.
C.S. Lewis also has a lot of words that I don't know. So this is Get a cLewis with C.S. Lewis. Are you ready?
Okay, what are the words you got? Yeah.
All right. So chapter 2, he uses the word poltroon. Would you like the sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Eustace talking to Caspian, right?
Yeah, he loves using this word poltroon. Okay. All right, here's one. Why do you not draw your own sword, poltroon? Cheep the mouse. Draw and fight, or I'll beat you back. I'll beat you black and blue with the flat.
So you want me to define it?
Yeah, define poltroon.
I would say that it is in the semantic range of a buffoon, an idiot, a person who has no class and is of rude manners.
That sounds like a good definition. Do you have a guess, or have you already looked it up?
Well, actually, I just Googled it. So
I think I might have briefly seen it because it's on Josh's screen. So now the word that's in my head is coward.
yeah, and that's the definition.
Makes you-
It's like utter coward. It's not just
Mm.
any
Okay.
coward. You are the most cowardly of cowards.
Wow,
Oh man.
that's pretty serious.
And I think this one is in the Repeat Sheep is saying it, and that's just a
Okay.
perfect word for Repeat Sheep's characters.
That is a perfect word
It's
for his
like,
character.
just very
Utter bravery.
brave knight.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the right kind of ways of being one of those.
Yeah.
Perfect word. Like if someone called him that would be like one of the greatest
Yeah,
insults.
disses.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's something interesting. Is thinking about Eustace and Reepicheep as foils for each other, where Eustace is always self-centered and kind of says like, okay, well, my conclusion is that, or like he's always trying to get like what's best for him, and he'll rationalize his way to get there to say like this makes sense for like me to drink the water instead of
Yes.
Lucy or whatever.
Yeah.
But Reepicheep is the opposite, where he's like, okay, the end goal is always like honor, and so what makes sense to be honorable towards other people. So it's
Mhm.
interesting seeing both of them.
It kind of flips
Oh,
when Eustace has its conversion though.
what do you mean?
Because Repeat Sheep goes from being like what is honor and like for the crew, and then he gets sucked into the adventure. And it's like this must continue on because like this is his life destiny, this is his fate, like so it kind of switches, and then Eustace becomes this like he wants to be more helpful, more outwardly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Reepicheep sailing to the end of the world wasn't honorable? Or would you
still
recommend-
is but I mean it kind of like seems like it goes from like changes a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
Life thoughts on the air. I think
yeah, no, that's
You know,
that's an interesting thought.
If we're going to jump to the end about Reepicheep, Reepicheep knows who he is and what he's about, right? And he is brave, if not reckless, and he is consistently recklessly brave and courageous throughout the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd agree
Yeah.
with that.
We love Reepicheep.
We didn't talk about how they entered Narnia, where like the picture becomes bigger or they become smaller, and then it sucks them in. And Lewis has these incredible ways of getting people into Narnia. And I love it because it's never the same way. He comes up with a new way every time.
Yeah, you're right. So we've had the wardrobe, we have the rings of the magician's nephew, we have the picture frame. I don't know what else happens. Just because I forgot, but
In Prince Caspian, I think it's a door. In no, did I say Prince Caspian? I meant the silver chair. In Prince Caspian, they're at a train station and they get sucked into a whirlwind. They're like belly button. And then in The Horse and His Boy, it's the only book where there's no outside characters, so nobody's taken anywhere.
Oh, interesting.
It takes place totally in. And then the magician's nephew is rings. And then the last battle, similar to The Horse and His Boy, the main characters are Narnian, and then the kids show up, but I don't think you get it from the kids' perspective, because I think the story starts in Narnia.
Mm-hmm. CS is like, I don't have another way to get these kids in here. I've already made a whirlwind out of their belly buttons. I reached the end.
I don't remember how it happens. I think it involves a train crash, but I might be wrong.
Oh my.
I know it does. There's a train crash at the end of the book, but I can't remember.
Again with the spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You've lived long enough to read the books.
But yeah, that's a good point. They just kind of got sucked into this boat to where on the one hand you're like, can you blame Eustace for being upset at the situation? And I think that's part of the, I don't know, I guess goodness of the Dawn Treader is that you do see yourself in Eustace where you're like, oh yeah, I've done that before. And now you're seeing yourself and you're like, oh, that's terrible.
There's the line where it's like, and he was crying way more than a boy ought to after just having a little wetting. You just got a little wet, kid. Like, you're crying too hard. Get over yourself.
I love when he was like, I'm so seasick. When will this terrible storm stop? And they look outside and it's like perfectly clear and
yeah,
0 waves.
Yeah. Was it in this early part where like he doesn't want to apologize to Reepicheep, and then they're like seriously talking about him dueling Reepicheep, and like,
yes.
And then he's like, oh, well, never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think this is where Eustace sees Reepicheep's tail and he's like, it'd be really fun to swing him around. And so he swings him around, and then Reepicheep is like, duel to the death. And this, this is when Eustace is like, I'm a pacifist. Eustace is just so hilarious. Gosh, what a guy. Okay, so they're on the boat, and then the first place they visit is Narrow Haven, and they find this island. They find some people there, and they say, oh, it'd be rude not to say hello, but you know who those people are? Slave traders. So then they snatch up everybody and they put them on the slave market, and then all the kids are for sale now. And Prince Caspian gets bought by somebody who ends up being one of the lords they're looking for, Lord Byrne. We forgot that crucial part. Prince Caspian is on a quest to find the 7 lords who have sailed off to the end of the world but never came back. So he's going to go find them. So now we found
his father's friends and confidants.
Yes.
And they escape because in the previous book, Caspian's uncle wanted to kill them all.
Oh, okay. So all that actually happens in a book. It wasn't just
background. Yeah, that was
Holden.
Prince Caspian.
Okay, see, yeah, you totally don't need to read Prince Caspian to make this make sense. So they find the first one, Lord Byrne. He purchases Caspian because it reminds Lord Byrne of Caspian's father, Senior Prince Caspian. And now together they're going to come up with a plan to free the children from slavery and actually just end the whole slave market. Because this island is still in the rule of Narnia, but it's so remote that they haven't really been, in contact with them. So Prince Caspian is here to like set it right and kind of bring it back to order.
Mm-hmm. There is a couple of really great critiques that Lewis has of the government in this, specifically with the governor, how he only meets people from 9 to 10 p.m. on the second Saturday of the month, which is the most ridiculous time to meet. And then
hilarious.
But what I was gonna say is, so we get the nation of colormen, and I cannot remember if we find out about the nation of colormen in the Chronicles of Narnia or in Prince Caspian. I'm leaning towards no, but it's possible. So this would be the very first time this nation shows up in the Narnia series.
The colormen nation.
The colormen. Yeah. And they are a major focus in The Horse and His Boy and The Last Battle.
Right.
But
okay.
Just kind of what did you think about the governor and that whole interaction once they're rescued and freed and Prince Caspian comes knocking at his door?
It's incredible. I mean, it's so funny. Yeah, I think like the critique of the government is pretty good. It's like one of those things where he like goes in person and it's so obvious he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there at his table and like he just has his rote things he says and he's like, no, like, this is who I am. This is what I'm here for. And he's like, come back like on Saturday, second Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
We'll,
You're
we'll
right
have a
there.
council meeting. We can discuss whether or not to recognize. His guys take the guy, they knock the table over, and then the guy, they throw him out of the chair and put Caspian in the chair, and then Caspian has his sword, the naked blade on his knees, like, dude, wake up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, he was so funny. Prince Caspian mentioned that he's like, well, first, I've noticed that you haven't paid taxes for 150 years. It's like, that's a long time to let that go. And so then when that's what kind of gets the governor's attention, because now the governor will have to pay out of his own pocket.
Yep.
But it's interesting as they're talking about the island. Gumpus is saying like, oh, we've had so much progress on the island. And he's talking about the slave trade.
Yes.
So he's seen all the progress is growing economically. But Caspian says this is the same progress that an egg goes through, as in it's rot.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting of kind of, Lewis's critique of like, okay, maybe you're getting better economically, but morally, this is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is, his critique of the school system is this kind of progressive movement in the school system, right? And like they're offering up these things and saying, wow, look at how much better we are. And what they're doing is the slave trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is, if you look at the theme of wise and foolish, right? You see a lot of foolishness on the island, like in Gumpus, but like the slave traders, when they first meet Reepicheep, there's a line about them saying something along the lines of, because Reepicheep is talking, and they think, wow, I wonder what they taught it to say. It almost sounds like it's talking for real.
Yeah.
And like they're too stupid and foolish to realize that they're talking to a mouse that can actually talk and form real like sentences.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of goes to that idea of like assuming the value of someone else or like what someone else is. And I guess that's how the slave trade works, is you assume that someone is meant to be a slave and so you can sell them. And so that's kind of like the rationalization you have to go through.
And then you contrast that with the wisdom of the Lord, right? Who's on the island. And he's like, this is what we do. We raise the flags. We pretend like we're communicating to our fleet, and we can take this whole thing over with less than 50 fighters.
Mm-hmm. I forget what he's been doing on the island so far. Do you think it's weird that he hasn't tried to stop the slave trade before?
I don't think he has any real position of authority.
Yeah, I guess
this
so.
And it's what you don't get is that it's been about 7-ish years since the Lords left. You get 7 years later on, I think, in the book. So it's not like he's been there forever.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. And it sounded like he'd been like developing a really good community on the separate island he lived with his family. That island was like almost like a polar opposite to whatever the capital was,
Yeah.
So kind of like parallels real life, big things like that take time. So,
yeah.
I just wanted to add, I like the part, like we talked about like how like all the slave traders were foolish. But I like the part where like maybe it's not like foolishness, but almost like ignorance, where like Caspian and they all like get on the island, and you hear their internal monologue. We're like, wow, there's these gruff looking guys over here, and you can hear they're thinking we probably shouldn't say hi, and then he's like, oh, we gotta go say hi, and then they sit down to have like, they're like, oh, come for a drink, and they're like, oh, great, we'll come for a drink, like every other story like in this book, and it's gonna be great, and it's gonna do this massive feast. And then they get like taken up by slave traders. And so that just made me chuckle. I was like, so there's like also learning experiences for both sides, So
Isn't there a line that Lewis has, like, this was early in their journey and they weren't as cautious as they should be?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
That sounds familiar. That would make sense. They probably should have seen this one coming.
Yeah, just been a little bit more prepared. But I mean, like Caspian's walking in like he's the king, so to speak. Not that he's parading that around, and he has some wisdom about like, let's not tell everybody I'm the king because they may not, I don't have an army here.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of aware that they probably aren't what's it called? Loyal to the king.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a part like when he's like getting into the whole situation, he's like, oh, like no one here can have heard of Narnia for a long time. It's possible they may still not acknowledge our overlordship. So this is like a fun growing experience though for Caspian crew too. Like this is like an initial challenge that they have to get over.
Well, and these islands were conquered by the High King Peter, hundreds of years before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so it'd been a while since they'd been over there or something.
Well, he said it'd been 150 years since somebody from Narnia had, like, I guess, gone on an official visit.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
That's a long time. What else do you want to say about what are the next chapters coming up that you want to recap?
I have like a few more things on this one, and then I think we can just end it. Part 1. How does that sound?
Great.
Cool. Okay. Okay, there's one more line, but then we have a few get a cLewis's to play.
Okay.
But the line is when they first get on the island, or no, this is when Caspian's starting his whole raid and is trying to say like, oh, I have a whole army here. And so he's like parading through the town. And then it says, then all the children joined in because they liked the procession and had seen very few. And then all the schoolboys joined in because they also liked processions and felt that the more noise and disturbance there was, the less likely they would have to do any school that morning.
That's right. Yeah. That's a great.
I just thought it was so funny. Okay.
Again, can Lewis do anything but bash on schooling?
I know. One of my questions, maybe we have time for it now, is he's mentioned multiple times that Eustace has not been reading the right books, which is why he's the way that he is. What do you think are the right books for children to read?
I think Lewis would say adventure books, classic Greek tomes, the Odyssey, any kind of fairy tale books, those sorts of things.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I think reading good fiction is very worthwhile.
Well, I guess, and do you think there are books that aren't good for kids to read? I mean, there clearly are some, but like Eustace's politics books. Yay or nay?
Yeah, I think I think what can be really good about fiction books is if they can open your mind to the world being a lot bigger than what you see it as. And I think what can be really bad about some nonfiction books, I think the kind that Eustace is doing is that they make the world small. They can compartmentalize it and make it, I can add it all up.
Yeah. You think you know what things really are, but you don't.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
Like what books are good?
Yeah. Are there books?
There's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have probably a mix of both, to be honest. But I've been reading this book. This is a good book. Maybe if y'all want to do it on the podcast later, but it's called Walking with Einstein. And it's about memory. And they kind of talk about, he critiques the school system in this book too. But like a thing with the fiction book is, and with memory, like you're thinking of a book, typically you can think of like the big theme, you don't remember all. Yeah. And so Eustace is doing all these books where he's remembering all the details of these like wars or whatever. But obviously it doesn't help form his character to know that when he gets to the dragon part later on, that maybe he shouldn't go sleep in the cave, So it's like, and that's kind of what like I think C.S. Lewis is trying to say, like a good work of fiction, if you can like remember the theme from the good work of fiction, is gonna like form your character well. I think that's what I mean, like scientifically, like what this other book I'm reading is showing is like that's what we remember,
His stories.
His stories. So it's just interesting,
there's a line in that part where Eustace becomes a dragon where he reflects back on his time as essentially in slavery, and he gets all this money. He's like, maybe I can go live with the colormen, Like they seem like an advanced civilization,
Civilized.
right? Like meanwhile, they're the ones at the market buying people, and that's who he wants to go to. And we can't leave this island here without talking about how they couldn't sell Eustace. I mean, he was absolutely useless. They couldn't even throw him in as a sweetener with another group of people. Like nobody wanted him. It's hilarious.
Do you think he chose the name Eustace because it sounds like useless?
I think so. Yeah.
I feel kind of mean saying that though, because it's an actual name, right?
Yeah, but
Imagine.
yeah. Uh, so here's a question. Is if we were to diagram his name, what would Stis be? The Stace. Because you in Greek would be good.
Oh, I don't know. Does that have a meaning?
I don't know. But I think he picked the name very much because he is useless.
Yeah.
He's completely useless.
Whoa, Sam. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
According to the AI generated thing from Google, Stace is a feminine name of Greek origin that means resurrection.
What?
What? Eustace could be, I guess, true resurrection. Whoa. I don't know. Yeah. Let's look up what this
It looks like there was a British cartoon that predated this book called Useless Eustace.
Oh, I bet.
So
yeah.
So like that cartoon predates it, but I do think that there is the idea that his name means good resurrection.
I mean, I love that. Okay, but according to AI, again, Eustace, the whole name itself means fruitful or steadfast. It's a name of Greek origin. So, but I kind of like our breakup better.
This is what we got to do, Chrissy. We got to research this before the next episode when we come back with the dragon, because the dragon's one of my favorite parts in the book.
Oh, it's so good. That's what makes Don Treader so close to number one, if not number one of the series.
I know this is we haven't really talked about it, but this book has the clearest depiction of sacraments.
Oh my gosh, that's what I
At
found
least,
on my research.
Yes, of all the books.
Yeah, we'll need to talk about that in the next part.
That's right.
I think all of them are here. Okay, do you have time for a few quick rounds of Get a Clewis?
Do it.
All right, first one, dandified. Would you like
to be made like a dandy?
That makes sense. Have you looked this one up, Josh? And would you like to make a guess? Or I wonder, Sam, could you define dandy?
Dandy is a well-dressed pretty boy.
I kind of agree with that. Someone's dandified is
that
the opposite of a sailor.
That makes a lot of sense. The phrase is, "Where's the captain?" And the response is, "I am, more or less, if you know what I mean," said a languid and rather dandified young person without any armor at all.
Right.
Yep, that sounds right. Let's double check. Yep, dandified, showing excessive concern about one's clothes or appearance. Good job, everybody. Okay, next one, bilious.
Bilious?
Yeah, would you like the sentence?
Yeah, I think it's about air.
Gumpus was a bilious-looking man with hair that had once been red and was now mostly gray.
I would say bilious is the idea of swelling, toad-like.
Oh.
I would echo toad-like. I think of bile. I think of bilious, like green, gross. Not a great look, for sure.
I also thought of bile, and I was thinking of like the four humors or whatever, like when you're colicky and you're like disagreeable, you're full of bile. Isn't that one of them?
I don't know.
It's something like that. So, all right.
Sounds smart.
Okay. Oh yeah, bilious, affected by or associated with nausea or vomiting, spiteful, bad-tempered. Related to bile.
There you go.
In the book, he probably meant spiteful and bad-tempered.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that's my last get a cLewis.
Oh, you don't have another one?
Well, okay, I do kind of. All right, sure. I'll get. There's my last get a cLewis for this chapter. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is a better one. Oh shoot. Okay, I actually have 3 more.
Everyone knows that one.
This one?
Yeah.
What? I don't know that one. Okay, what's a fief?
FIEF.
Yeah. Is that how
That
you
is
say it?
fief. Yeah, like fiefdom. It's like
Uh,
it's like an area of that is under your control or is under control of a lord.
maybe I did know
Yeah,
that
it's like a
word.
kingdom. See, Chrissy
Yeah.
hasn't watched Lord of the Rings or hasn't
You haven't
hasn't
read the
as
right
many of
books.
those
I
like
haven't read.
medieval. Yeah, she hasn't read the right book.
Oh no, it's showing. I am Eustace. Okay, fine. Well, riddle me this one, everybody. Wheedling.
Wheedling, like when you are trying to make a trade happen in like a kind of like a gross way.
Hmm. Do you have anything to add?
I think saying the sentence would be helpful. So the sentence, Sam, is the slaver whose name seemed to be Pug bowed very low and said in a wheedling kind of voice, "Yes,
Yeah.
please, your lordship." Is that what?
He's trying to get out of something, right? Like he's trying to obviously manipulate in a false way.
Yeah, the image that comes to mind is like a high pitched voice, like kind of squirming out, like
Yeah.
trying to get out.
I think of like some kind of grub squirming out from under the claws of something.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, definition: to endeavor to influence a person by smooth, flattering, or beguiling words or acts. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for the actual last one?
Yeah.
Okay, cataract of water. And I can find the sentence. Okay, a cataract of water poured over the deck.
Um like a pillar,
Oh, okay, pillar of water. Do you have a guess?
like a large amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That one was an interesting use of the word. I was thinking like almost like a solid layer of water. Like there's like
Oh, maybe.
like it's
Yeah.
just like solid block of water.
When
I've
when yeah, I mean when you talk about cataracts of the eyes, what are you talking about?
Cloudy.
When your eyes have cataract. Yeah, they're cloudy.
I guess it is kind of like something. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. Do you know what a
A
cataract
film?
actually is? Yeah, I was thinking film.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe it could be a film of water. So it's like a thin sheet of water.
Oh, yeah.
I
What
don't know.
is it?
All right, cataract of water. Um, a descent of water over a steep surface, a waterfall, especially one of considerable size. Any furious
Waterfall.
rush or downpour of water, a deluge. Deluge. Okay, so I think a lot of water is the takeaway.
Water falling though.
The waterfall.
Water coming down, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Pouring over. Cool.
Yeah. That was one like I couldn't even. I mean, I had an idea, but I'd never heard that one before. That like use of the word cataract in that way. So
that's cool.
some old English, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you start using.
Thank you for the cLewises.
Yes. Thank you for your. I don't know. What would be an answer to a clue? I'll come up with a clever name for your responses. But thank you.
You can, if you want. He went by Jack. You've got the, you don't know Jack. It's another alternate title.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll ask a word, ask if you know Jack. And if you don't, we'll give you a cLewis by reading the sentence.
That's great. That's clever.
Perfect. Yay. Okay. Well, I unfortunately must bounce, but we should
Yep.
meet again and do part 2 where we can do the rest of the chapters.
Yeah. Love it.
Yay. This was so fun.
All right. See you later.
Love
Bye,
you.
Sam.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bookalicious. If you like this discussion, please rate or subscribe to our channel to help other book lovers find this content as well. If you have any questions or suggestions for future books, we'd love to hear from you at bookalicious.pod@gmail.com. As always, thanks for joining our club.